Hi, welcome to Day by Day in AI. Today we're going to talk about something called Chat GPTs. Now we all know what's Chat GPTs, which is launched a couple of years back. We all use it. It's changed the way we work today. Now, why was Chat GPTs introduced and what are Chat GPTs? Now, a standard Chat GPT is accessible to everyone. It's very generic, has the same data, right? Now, there was a lot of demand from companies and individuals, developers to have a custom GPTs, meaning a GPTs which is very specific to a need. For example, a company knowledge base. Now, this is very specific to the company knowledge base, and when people ask questions to it, it comes from the same knowledge base. Or it could be a training module. ChatGPT trained on that. So ChatGPT listen to you, or APN OpenAI listen to it, and then they introduce something called custom GPTs. Now that's not new. It's been introduced for 3-4 weeks now. I've been playing around with different options. Today, let's do something called Assistant AI. I'm going to build an Assistant AI. I'm going to give it connect it to my Google Calendar. I'll connect it to my Google emails. I'll connect it to to-do list. I'll connect to a few things, and then I will use it as my personal assistant, where I can ask him to record my appointments, remind me. I can ask him to read my email, respond to emails, add my to-do list, and things around that. All right, so pretty excited. Let's start building that. How we go into that? Hi. So today let's build an assistant AI. We've built two AIs before, GPTs. One was a company bought GPT, other one was Persona GPT. Now both were pretty straightforward, simple. We gave system instructions and we uploaded a couple of files for it to read from there and reply to the answers. And today we're going to go a little deeper. We're going to work with actions. Now, what are actions? How do they work? Let me run through that. All right. So to save us time, I will just go and just grab the instructions which I've pre-created it. I will share that probably in the description or somewhere where you can find it. All right. To give you a context, what I'm trying to say, I'm saying PSAI, your personal assistant, is tailored to manage your task and appointment with utmost attention. She proactively reminds you of upcoming events and tasks, providing detailed information to ensure you're well prepared. It stores and retrieves information you upload, make it readable, blah, blah. So this is all instruction I give it to you. So based on my instruction, it creates a behavior, right? It says, how about naming? So it gives me a name option. I say, yes, go ahead, give it the same name. And then it goes and tries to build a profile picture. Now here it uses DALL 3. What they're trying to DALL 3, what they're trying to do is showing the multi model of the chat GPT, where you can use text. It is able to do a picture here, right? So it's done that. You can change it, you can not change it. Surprisingly, it was she, but the photo is of a he. Well, that's where GPT is right now, or GPTs are right now. So here, what's the difference, right? Is we would now try to connect it to actions, right? Now, this is the button that we never spoke in our previous videos. So we go and say create new action, right? Now, to create new action, we need to import from a URL. So what you do is you would just go to actions.zapier.com. Now, this is Zapier's AI actions, which is recently created. They are in alpha, not even beta. So GPTs and beta, AI actions is the alpha. So if you're doing this now, if you're implementing this now, you're way ahead of 99.5 or 99.7 people who have not even reached so far. All right. So they've done easier. All right. So you could just go get started here, right? And they have made it easy. And what you do is you just copy the URL, right? And go back to ChatGPT, click on import your URL, paste it there, and just import. So it does it, it brings all the information and tries to connect you with the Zapier. All right. Now, this basically is just a connection to Zapier. So nothing, it just allows you a connection to Zapier. Now, what we're going to do is now we're going to go in and add some actions. So right now, because it's an assistant AI who has nothing. Yes, I mean, it can't do anything much because it cannot perform any actions, right? So what we're going to do is we want to first set some rules. Now, what are rules? Now, rules are basically a way of saying what to do, right? So like before running any action, tell your user that they need to reply. If your user, so basically these are rules telling the chat GPT or your GPTs that you created that it has to follow this rule pattern to get the information, right? Oh, sorry about that. Let me just try to recopy it. Why isn't the option to copy to clipboard? Anyway, so I copy this, I go there, and you go all the way into your instructions and you copy the rules, right? Now, once you've done the rules, there's something called required actions. I'll explain you actions. So basically, they have given default actions, right? First action they've given here is Google Calendar find event, and they give another action called Slack send direct message, right? So what are actions and how do you do that? So go back there. If I go to my actions, you see an open AI because that's how we do the connection, and we go to manage actions. So these are all the actions I've created. Like I've done Google Calendar find event, I've connected to my calendar. I've done Microsoft To Do, I've not activated that. Microsoft To Do find a task. I've done Google Task create task. I've Discord, Slack send direct message, Google Task, Google Calendar quick find. Right, these are all actions. Now, what I've done again to save time, I've built about 7 different actions, and I'll just copy the actions there. Then I explain you how would this actions work, right? So basically, I'll go to required actions. I'll just replace and explain you. Now, if you go after every action, I've given a URL, a confirmation link, right? So let's go back to and see what how it is. So Google Calendar find event. If I go into my actions, I have something called Google Calendar find events. I click on that once I create the event, and I just copy this URL. You see URL on the top? I copy this, I go back here and I paste the URL. Simple as that. Now, how do you get this URL? How do you create this event? Let me explain you that. All right. So I go back to Zapier, all right, and I will try to create a new action. Now, Zapier has got about 20,000 actions. That's what the document says. Now, you can do anything. So let's say I say Google Calendar. I said the wrong spelling. Right. So calendar. It's the right spelling. Right. So what it does, it finds all the Google Calendar, find event, create calendar, quick add event, create detailed event, update an event. So similarly for different applications, it's got a lot of actions to do that. Right. Let's say we do the Google Find event. So it just goes and asks you to connect to a Google account. You connect to an account, and then probably it asks you what actions you do. So the different steps on that, you could just say, have the AI find it. That also works for you, or you can select a specific thing, right? So you can create different actions. I'll let you play with that, different actions, and do different things on that now. So these are the actions which I've actually pasted here. All I have to do is update this information. All right, now let's go to a personal time. So let's first ask a question. What actions can you perform, right? So we're just trying to see what are the actions that our assistant can do. So it's going to go back and look at the ZPA connections. Wow, error. Let's see what happens. Right. So starting action is talking to Zapier because we've done the connection. It's going to talk to Zapier and come back and tell us what can it do. Okay. So it says I have the access to following actions. So it can do a Microsoft To Do task. It can find the event in calendar. It can create a task in To Do. It can create a task in Google Task. It can add a quick event. You can send a message to Slack. You can find tasks. All right. So now let's say I will say add mm, Michael birthday on 15 December. Right. So just a very simple line. I just said add somebody's birthday on 15th of December. I didn't say Google Calendar. I didn't say anything. So it's smart enough. It goes and looks at my actions, what actions are available, right? And then it asks me, do you allow me to do that? And we give them the permission to do that. Now, technically, it should go to my Google Calendar, add this event because it has a right to add an event, right? So what it's done is I've successfully added Michael's birthday to your Google Calendar on December 15th, as well as it gives me a link to go to the calendar and check that. All right. So it's still building it. Let's go there. All right. So if I click on the calendar link, it will actually open my Google Calendar because I've already authorized it to look at that. And we go to 15th of December, and that's where Michael's birthday. Right, simple as that. Right, now I can also ask it, send a message, hello everyone to channel engage central. Let's see what it does. So it picks up on Slack, but let's see what it does. So technically I want him to send a message to my Slack channel, and let's see what it does it. So basically it depends on how kind of an actions you've done that and what it understands. So generally being an AI, it's pretty intelligent, so it should be able to do that. You don't need to specify everything to it, right? So see, I've sent a message, hello everyone, to a Slack channel Engage Central. You can view a message here. Fantastic. So similarly, you can do a lot of stuff. You can ask him to go to look at your calendar and build your meeting schedules. It can ask you to build a to-do list to prioritize what works you want to do. So the limit is endless. You can play around with it, make it do what you want to do it. All right. So this is Zapier Action Sign Alpha. This is in beta. This is where it can do today, but I'm sure it can do a lot of things. It could send texts, send emails, and SMS alerts, a lot of other things. See what makes sense for you. Play around with it. I hope this is helpful for you, and keep enjoying. And when this grows and I have more time and I've experimented more with it, I will surely make more videos, more advanced videos to help you out. And if you need our help anytime, you can always reach back to us. Have a nice day. Thank you.